Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Real Talk. I'm Briscoe Diggs, and today we have with us a writer, producer, director, actor, and all-around fabulous man, Mr. Michael Vaccaro. Welcome to Real Talk, Michael.
Hi, I'm so happy to finally be here. It's amazing. I'm so excited.
I know, me too. I love your acting. I love what you do, and I've been waiting for this for a long time. We did an interview years ago, and it got lost, but it's perfect because everything happens for a reason. And right now, it's like you're such a busy person, and you're doing so much that we had. I'm so glad you came and gave us a little bit of time on your weekend.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much. Do you remember when that was when we did that last interview?
At least
like a ballpark figure.
4 or 5 years ago.
Was it that long ago? Wow.
Yeah, because my show started around 5 years ago, and I took a break. So yeah, it had been. I brought it back during the pandemic, but yeah, it's been that long, and it went by really fast. I mean, you never know. So I must say, I know we spoke about this before we started, but I must say, I love your hair. I think it's so becoming. It looks so fabulous. I mean, yeah. It's not that you were fabulous before. Let me say, I'm not just but right now it's like I don't even. It's iconic. That's how good it looks on you.
I'll take it. I'll take that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what? It was a great lesson. First of all, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Oh, sure.
And also, I will tell you that it was a great lesson for me because when I was in, my hair went this color when I was in my 20s, in my early 20s. So it's been like this forever because I'm like 97 years old. So for years, I was dyeing my hair back to my previous natural color, which was like dark brown.
Right.
And after years of doing that, you dye your hair every 2 weeks, and I do it at home because I can't afford to go to a salon.
Yeah, right.
And so like it's a gigantic mess. It gets all over your skin and it gets all over the bathroom walls, and it's a gigantic pain. And so finally, a few years ago, I was like, you know what? I have to stop this. I have to absolutely stop this. I don't care anymore. I don't care. And my agents were like, no, please don't. You'll never get work again. We'll never be able to send you out. This is the end of your career. Forget it. It's over. And I said, you know what? Okay, that's fine. I don't care anymore. So I stopped dyeing my hair. I took new pictures, and I have literally been working every day since.
It's amazing because I'm looking at your IMDb right now, and I was like, wait a minute, it seems like you're working more than you did before. I don't even know if that's true, but
it is true. I work much more than I did before. And I think it's all because I finally said to the universe, universe, look, I'm going to accept myself as I am, and let's go. And that, I mean, I swear to you, that's how I feel like it worked. Yeah.
That's amazing because being your authentic self, whether you have gray hair or you're going bald, I'm like, look, just zip. People are like, can you grow your afro? I'm like, a halfro? I'm not trying to be that person again. It's like it's gone.
I've never heard that term, a halfro. That's brilliant. Oh my God.
Yes, my dad Al, he had a halfro. His hair started to lose his hair when he was like 19 or so. So I always remembered. I used to call it the bozo because he just was that. No hair here, so he just shaved it down a little bit, and he's still trying it, but it's not working. So, and when as a young kid, I was like, "Thank God you're not my biological father. I don't want to lose my hair." And talk about
it. That's so funny though. I wonder if you can't really do a comb over with an afro, can you?
Oh no. Oh, I've seen them try though. Go to a church and see them. What they do now is they let it go, they slick it over, and then they have like the Jerry curl look. It was like no,
Jerry
curl. And I'm Puerto Rican and black, so my hair is a picture.
Yes.
You say? I'm sorry.
I remember the Jerry curl fondly. Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm black and Puerto Rican, so my hair is naturally like that. So I used to get people, oh, you got a Jerry? No. Not that I was offended, but no. Well, I was offended. Jerry curl, like you talking about dye, that was a lot of work too. So I didn't have to worry about that. Right. But let's talk about you. Okay, first I want to go back a little bit.
Okay.
And I want to talk to you about Child of the 70s, one of my favorite web series. I absolutely love it. And I'm going to say, you get I'll let you explain it, but you get some of the best people to come onto your show. Some of my favorite stars from the 70s and some of even my favorite porn stars, should I say, or adult actors. Because I'm like, this is a wide range of fantasticness. So explain to everyone who don't know about Child of the 70s.
Okay, so that was a project that I started working on. I want to say it was 2011, so it was a long time ago. And I had this story in my head, and for a sitcom, and I wrote it, and I wrote the first season. I actually have a friend of mine, Terrence Moss, who he and I actually co-wrote it together. And because it was basically the first thing I had ever written. So I went to him and I asked for help, and we kind of wrote this thing together based on this idea that I had. This idea was to do sort of a 70s style sitcom, which, at the same time, it was a loving homage to 70s sitcoms, but it was also sort of like, satirizing 70s sitcoms as well at the time. And so we wrote this thing, and I liked what we wrote so much that I thought, well, I can't just let this sit in a drawer somewhere. I have to like do something with this. I'd never done anything like that before in my life, but it was at the very beginning of like this kind of web series presence. Like people were just kind of starting to figure out that they could do that. They could create their own content. So I went out and got money, and we did a first season of it. And the great thing that happened to me in the first season was that I, in my mind, had this idea that I wanted, first of all, it actually started out as a Donna Pescow type. Now, Donna Pescow, right, for those of you who remember, Donna Pescow was Angie on TV, a show that I loved.
Oh my God. And Saturday Night Fever as well.
And of course, she was in Saturday Night Fever. She has the very famous, very horrifying, terrifying scene in Saturday Night Fever in the back of a car.
I know, yeah, poor thing. I just watched it recently, actually.
Really? Oh my gosh, I haven't seen it in many years.
Yeah.
So when I wrote this, I wrote a part for a woman to play my mother, because I'm in it, and I wanted a woman to play my Italian mother. And I remember when I wrote it, we wrote down that we wanted a Donna Pescow type, And so then when we were looking for actresses to play the part, I put out a breakdown, and all of a sudden one day I got a call from this agent, and he said, well, I actually have Donna Pescow. And I was like, are you kidding? And he said, no, send us the script. So I sent it, and she said, yes, I love it. And she agreed to do it. Like Donna Pescow agreed to do it. So that just then opened up a sort of a whole new world for me, something that I didn't really anticipate before, because then I thought, oh my gosh, then we ended up doing 5 seasons.
Right.
After that. And so I thought, I'm going to go after all the people who I loved in 70s sitcoms, growing up. And we ended up getting a ton of them. We ended up, let's see, there was, okay, Lynn Stewart. Lynn Stewart, you will remember Lynn Stewart because she played Miss Yvonne on Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah.
So we got her, and then we got Judy Tenuta, who was a very famous,
hilarious,
70s and 80s, hilarious, right? And then we got Bruce Valanche, of course, who was a very famous writer, wrote everything for Bette Midler in the 70s. Yes. We got Gina Hecht. Gina Hecht was this amazing woman. She's now on a TV series called Dave, which if you haven't seen it, you have to see it. It's brilliant. She plays Dave's mother, and she ended up playing my mother as well. He was on Mork and Mindy, and we got Randy Jones, who was the original cowboy from the Village People, and then we got Beverly Sanders, who was on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and who was Rhoda, of course we got Susan Olsen, who was.
I was going to say yes. Can you believe that? I was like, she's a sweetheart. I love her.
We got Brady to be on the show, and then we got Ted Lange, Isaac from The Love Boat. Like, we got all these amazing people, and what was so great about them was that every single one of them were wonderful, and all it took was like a phone call, and I said to all of them, like Ted Lange, for instance, I said, Ted, I think you are so great. This is a tiny little show that we're doing. I'm sure you have like a million other things to do, but we love you so much. And I wrote this part for you, and it would be so great if you could come and hang out with us and do it. And he was like, yeah, of course I'll do it. So that was everybody's response. And so then we did this great thing. I thought it was great, where, one of my favorite things about 70s sitcoms, they don't do it so much anymore. Sometimes they do. Where they replace actors. They just replace actors. Now, if an actor leaves the show, or if unfortunately an actor dies, they usually there's some sort of reason for it. You know, they usually say something, you know, maybe they kill the character on the show, or they explain the absence of the character somehow.
Right, some
But
crazy
in the
shit.
60s and 70s, they didn't do that. They just replaced actors. They used to do that on soap operas all the time as well. So we got this great idea. We had Donna Pascal, she was in the first season, and she was unable to come back and do the second season because she went on a tour with the play. And so it was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? But then we got another actress, we got Lynn Stewart. And so then we got this idea, a friend of mine gave me this idea, to just replace that character every season.
That's
just
so
never say
brilliant.
anything about it. Just like completely replace her. And so every season I had a different actress play my mother, and it was absolutely fantastic. We again, Beverly Sanders do it, and Gina Hecht do it, and Judy Tenuta do it, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
We did Child of the 70s for 5 years. And then we sold it to a network called Deku. Deku is a specifically LGBT, or I think it's a GBT network, which now you can actually get through Amazon if you have Amazon.
Oh, I do. I'll check it out.
On Prime, you can get Deku, and Child of the 70s is now, all 5 seasons are up on Deku.
That's so great because it's fun. It's so much fun. I love the writing. I love the acting. I love the premises. I loved it. So I keep saying it, but yeah, it brought so much nostalgia back for me. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Oh my God. Because like the people that you actually got into it. Plus, you know, not to mention your performance and your writing and all I mean, you're just so good, Michael. So yeah, I must say,
of course, we stole so much of it from actual 70s TV shows. My favorite show, of course, was Rhoda.
Yeah, oh my God.
And so we stole storylines from Rhoda. Yeah. We stole a storyline from Mary Tyler Moore, from Bob Newhart. We stole a storyline from What's Happening, which I love. So we just stole all this stuff and kind of put it all together in this hodgepodge of 1970s love. Plus, like you said, we had some adult actors in it.
Right. I was like, whoa, yes.
Which I thought was hysterical. I mean, it pushed some buttons for some people, but I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, I recognize them. Well, how do you recognize? And it's like, there's nothing wrong with watching porn, okay? Especially when back in our day, we had porn stars. I think they still do, but I'm not sure anymore. Yeah, but you know, the ones that, you know, like 20 years ago, you know, like and beyond that, they're actors, because you know they don't cut in between. People think it's just a one-off. No, it's work. And and I admire a lot of them, I must say. So who cares?
Yeah. So anyway,
I'm not ashamed.
Now that's Child of the 70s. It's done. It's out there in the world, and if people find it, I hope they enjoy it.
Yeah, they will enjoy it. They will enjoy it, definitely. So let's talk about all this new stuff. Well, I guess some of it might be old to you, but it's new to me because I haven't seen you in a while. But you have been working your butt off. So, can you talk about any of the new projects that are coming up soon?
Yeah, sure, of course. I actually I have started another web series that I created, and we just started shooting. We literally just started shooting last week. Wow. And hopefully the first season will be up online sometime within the next maybe 2 or 3 months. That's my hope. Okay. And it is called Joey and Rita from the Bronx.
Oh yeah, I can see. Yeah, right. Joey and Rita. I love that. I'm from the Bronx, though.
Did I know that? I'm from. I don't know.
Yeah, I was born in Harlem, but as a little baby, my mother moved to the Bronx, so the Bronx is my.
Where did you
live? We lived on Daly Avenue near the Bronx Zoo, and then we moved to Sedgwick Avenue, which right off the Major Deacon Highway, but now it's called Hip Hop Way because that was the birthplace of hip hop.
It was the
actual birthplace. So
the birthplace of hip hop. I know it well.
Yeah, that's where I lived. Yeah. So
that's amazing because I grew up not too far from the Bronx, right off of right close to Fordham Road.
Oh my God, are you kidding? I used to work at Alexander's.
My mother used to go to Alexander's all the time.
Oh my God. You know what? We probably passed each other and stuff. You know, who knows? Or we hung out in the same places as young people because we're about the same age. So yeah. Oh my God. Okay.
So I wrote this. I come from an Italian family that are. I mean, I'm not supposed to say this, but I come from an Italian family that's filled with mobsters.
Okay. We can
Like
talk.
I
We
have
can
a
talk.
cousin Vito. I have a cousin Vito who still to this day, if I call him and complain about somebody, all of a sudden their kneecaps will be broken. I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
yeah. I have a few cousins like that too, so it's all good.
So, but I happen to grow up in a Puerto Rican neighborhood,
Oh,
and
okay.
so all of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
so I grew up surrounded by Puerto Ricans, and so
Wow.
I just wrote this new show. It's called Joey and Rita from the Bronx, and it's basically about Joey and Rita, and he's an Italian kind of mobster, and she's a Puerto Rican woman, and the show starts with him. He has just gotten out of prison after 8 years in prison, goes back to the Bronx to find her, to only to find out that, of course, she has remarried,
Mhm.
and then, comic hijinks ensue. So that's my new web series. We just,
Nice.
like I said, we just started filming just about a week or two ago, and hopefully the first season will be done within the next few months, and then it will be up online. I'm really excited about it. I think
Nice.
it's really
Yes.
hilarious. And uh, everybody in it is an actor who I met from Darman, which we have to
Okay.
talk about.
Right. Right. Okay. Mhm.
So I don't know if you know anything about Darman at all.
I saw one. I think it was. I saw one clip where you were eating pizza.
Right.
Right. Right. With the yeah. That was, yes. I do. So yeah. It was
Yes.
hilarious, actually. But learning,
So,
it seems like it's like a learning situation as well.
well, that's what this whole thing about Darman has become, this crazy phenomenon.
Hmm.
I'm wearing my Darman shirt right now
Yes.
because Darman, I believe this just happened.
Mhm,
Darman, that's the guy's name by the name. His name is Dar, Dhar, and his
mhm.
last name Man, Man, Darman. He started a YouTube channel and started making like these little short films. It started 2 or 3 years ago, I believe. Started making these little short films like in his apartment, with a tiny little camera and a couple of actors in his apartment, and just started uploading them onto his YouTube channel. Today, I'm, I think this just happened within the last few months. He is now the second most popular YouTube channel.
Wow, I'm gonna subscribe because I laughed my butt off when and then I was like, oh my God, wait a minute. I learned something at the end. It was so good. So I
Yeah,
can see
he
why.
he now has over 20 billion views.
Wow.
Right. Uh,
Wow.
so he literally went from
Wow.
shooting these tiny little short films in his apartment to now he has two gigantic film studios out in Burbank, California,
That's so cool.
and with like gigantic film studios with every kind of set that you could possibly imagine,
Wow.
with hundreds and hundreds of employees and a whole bunch of different crews. He now releases a new short film every single day.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
And so I somehow ended up being one of his actors,
Mhm.
and like, oh, so like you said, like you learn something. Like he started, it's they're sort of, I think they sort of started out like like a PSA, like a public service announcement.
Okay, I can see that.
Basically, it's his idea to kind of like, it's his way of sort of helping the world,
Mhm.
teaching lessons about um, being nice and being understanding and being compassionate and having empathy. Like that's
Mhm.
sort of how it started.
Right.
And so then I got hired, and they keep bringing me back. I'm always the same guy. Basically, I'm
The frustrated.
basically I'm a middle-aged white racist homophobe.
Yeah, it's so funny.
I'm always like super angry. I'm always
Yeah,
screaming for all
frustrated.
kinds of reasons. I'm always frustrated. And I'm always firing people. I'm the CEO who fires people because she's too skinny or she's too fat, or
Oh my God,
I
you're worse.
I did one where I fired somebody because she was too black. Her skin was too dark. I mean,
Oh my God.
I know. I always do these things. But what's happened is I've become sort of this like really popular, angry old white guy. Like
Right.
I get these DMs from people all over the world now find me on Instagram and whatever, and send me these send me these DMs like all the time, like, why are you so mean? Well, I'm an
I'm an
actor.
actor. This is
Yeah.
you're nothing like that in real life. So I mean, that shows what a good actor you are, because
I am nothing like that in real life, right? And so I keep doing them. I actually just shot another one yesterday, and I have a bunch of them coming out now. So anyway, the point is that a lot of these actors from Darman are, it's sort of like it's almost like a repertory company. Like he brings back the same actors all the time. So I've done like a ton of these things over the last few years, last couple of years. And so, and because they're so popular, and we've become so popular because of them, everybody in my new web series, which is called Joey and Rita from the Bronx, is from Darman.
That's cool. If you ever need an extra Latino, let me know.
Hey, I would love an extra Latino.
It's in now. Afro Latino is in. No, just kidding.
It is totally in. That's right. Like, yeah, white guys definitely not in, but yes.
But you know, but your character is in, because I mean, actually, you know, you're so good at it. I laughed my ass off. I watched the one where you were watching the clips and responding to it, and then they were changing the words to it. That was
Well, that's become this whole other crazy thing that I have no idea about, where people, they do reaction videos where people will take a video of themselves watching a video online.
Right.
Which is crazy to me.
It's funny.
But then there's this one guy, he's really clever and really funny. He now takes a lot of these Darman videos and re-edits them, and they are absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
So he got in touch with me, and he asked me if I would do a reaction video of me watching myself in his re-edited video. So I did that, and it was so funny because I just could not stop laughing. It was like I was practically falling out of my chair. It was so funny.
I was laughing at you laughing.
And that's what happens. People laugh at you laughing at you.
So good.
So all these things have become wildly popular.
Yeah.
And then people send me comments on YouTube, and people find me on Instagram, and people find me on Facebook. Now it's become a whole gigantic thing, like people all over the world.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And you can bring them into then they can also, those people will find a child of the 70s and be like, whoa, so yeah.
I have a bunch of, like, of course I have my own YouTube channel, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
And so people go to my YouTube channel and find, because I did a bunch of short films and a bunch of commercials, which are all on my channel. And so then, yeah, that's absolutely what happens. People then find all my other work as well, which is tremendously satisfying and gratifying. Yeah. It
seems that you have something called Valeria that's coming out in 2025.
That actually is still, I got that job, I think it was before the pandemic, and we never shot it. They're still trying to figure out, it's this giant science fiction film. They're still trying to figure out how they can shoot it now, with dealing with all the COVID restrictions that we have in the film industry. So that it hasn't even been made yet. But I did another one. I did another gigantic science fiction film, which was supposed to be released last year, but they decided not to, again, because of the pandemic. Because they didn't want people watching it on at home.
But see it in a big screen. Yeah.
They wanted people to see it on a big screen. It's called The Other Side of Infinity, and it is about the last day of the Earth. The Earth is about to. Oh my gosh. The Earth is about to explode because it's hurtling towards the sun, or whatever. And of course, I play an old white horrible guy, right, who does horrible. I'm totally misogynistic in this one, and I do horrible things to this woman who happens to be a prostitute. On the very last day, we all have 24 hours to live, and I spend it doing terrible things to this poor prostitute.
Oh my God!
So now it looks like that film is actually about to come out.
Good.
Next month or two. So look, it's called The Other Side of Infinity.
The Other Side of
science fiction film.
You play Sugar Daddy?
Sugar Daddy. I hire this prostitute and I do terrible things to her in the last 24 hours of my life. Yeah. I take her out to a nice dinner first.
Oh, okay. Well, at least you did that one.
I did. Yeah.
So what else? What else do you? I mean, it seems like you have so many things coming. So, oh, you know what? I'm gonna ask you a question.
Yes.
Conframa, a friend of mine was in that show as well.
Yes.
That was for that was for Amazon, right?
It's
on Amazon
now. It used to be. It's on Amazon now. It used to be on Here TV.
Okay. Oh my, that's really good because they're moving a lot of stuff to Amazon.
And really I think it's first 2 seasons of Conframa were on Here TV, and now I believe the 3rd season is definitely on Amazon, and maybe you can find all 3 seasons on Amazon. Yes, that's good. I did a guest star part on Conframa, again playing a horrible old white guy. And this time, the prostitute who I abuse is a young Latino boy. Okay. Not, I mean, like he's an adult, but don't.
Well, I know what you mean. Younger than you. Yeah. I know. Younger than your character.
Yes. He's like in his early 20s, and he is a hustler, a Latino hustler, and there's a whole scene where I basically molest him, and there's drugs involved, and it's yeah. White guys now, and I'm totally fine with this. I am absolutely totally fine with this. But white men of my age now, basically in everything are like racists and homophobes and terrible, which is fine. I absolutely get it.
It'll keep you working. It'll keep you working.
Yes, I'm absolutely. I'm happy for the work. Yes.
And they have no idea that you're a gay man. that's really happy with yourself playing these parts. That shows what, like I said earlier, that shows what a good actor you are. You're so good that I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna fall over myself. Like I am a fan of yours, even though I know you personally, I'm a fan. And I remember a few years ago you had an event at Pump where you were showing a premiere of a 70s show. And I got
one of our season premieres was at Pump. Yes.
Yeah, it was so good. I got to meet Susan Olsen and a lot of people. And thank you for that, because that was like a big deal for me to meet Cindy Brady. And she was a sweet woman. So I mean, that was like, when they say never meet your heroes, you know what I mean? And I have not had that many, I haven't had any of my heroes, acting people, like people I admire disappoint me. I've been pretty lucky.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I had one person, but we're not going to talk about it.
We don't want to do this on. But we'll talk about that. Like I said earlier to my sister, it's kitchen table talk. We don't want to put it out here on the internet. Yeah. Well, you know what? I don't want to. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. Yeah, no, please.
I was going to say, I don't want to keep you so long. I know that you've given up your Saturday to be here with me. I'm looking at you on the screen. I have to look at the camera. I should notice I'm an actor. But I do, what I do mostly? I'm a background actor and a stand-in, so I'm paid to shut up. So it's like, so when I get to talk, I'm just like, no.
You know what? I want to say I love your interview with Haas Slyman.
Haas Slyman, thank you.
I think he's so great. I mean, and he's super hot. And I was so excited that you got to interview him. That was great.
Me too. He was such a nice man. I've only known him from the internet. I've only known him from Instagram, and it's been a few years. And we just got along on Instagram. And World AIDS Day last year, he made a post, and I liked the post. And I just let him know about me being HIV positive for half my life. And I said, it was a personal little message I sent to him. And don't you know that he sent me a recorded message on Instagram with his beautiful voice telling me some, things and, basically giving me encouragement. And I lost it. I'm like, what? I really started crying because of what he said. And it was his voice. So, he took the time to do that. And so we became, friendly on Instagram.
Well, that's great. I mean,
really sweet. So I guess I
seems like a great guy. And
really good. And I know, he's so hot. He is just amazingly beautiful, and his soul is beautiful too. So I'm like, okay, I couldn't believe he said yes. I'm like, would you be on? He goes, oh, absolutely. You know what he said, I'm tired of seeing myself, but for you, I'll do it. And I was like, whoa, thank you, because he's doing a lot of interviews lately. So yeah, but I think one of my best interviews. Go ahead. No, you go. No,
I was going to say that I think one of the things that he's doing is so important, because I mean, like, like, I mean, you said it, I'm an out gay actor. And I just think representation is so important. And even today, I mean, obviously there are a lot of us, there are a lot of out gay actors right now. Certainly, you know, when I was coming up as a, you know, a young actor, there were none, there were maybe two, you know, but now obviously there are a lot more of them, but I feel like, I still feel like it's tremendously important. And I feel like there should be more. I feel like there are still probably tons and tons and tons of, you know, well-known actors who are still in the closet, which makes me feel bad.
That's sad for them.
I want them all to come out. And I'm not into outing. I'm not. You know, people need to do whatever they need to do in their own time. I get all of that, but I always encourage, whenever I meet actors, I always encourage them, if they're gay, to you know, to come out. And so I really admire him for what he has done, because he now has become so high profile,
right?
And he's so clearly and confidently out there. It's really wonderful.
Yeah, it really is. And being an Arab Muslim, you know, actor is a big deal. And yeah, it's great. And same with you, though. You know, you could have easily been in the closet, because you're such a good actor. You could play that role of a straight man in real life, and you choose to be out. And especially, you're both beautiful, hot actors are out. It's amazing. Yeah. And I mean, wow.
Well,
I was so impressed when I first met you. I was like, wow, look at this man. He created his own shit. And it's good. Now, if it wasn't great, I wouldn't be saying anything, but it's really good. And yeah, it was, you encouraged me to keep doing what I was thinking I wanted to do. And I've never been in the closet. You know, I've had a friend of my parents out me, but I was already out. I mean, I don't understand what she thought she was doing. But yeah, but thank you so much, Michael. You're an encouragement to us all. I was so surprised to see you popping up all over the place with your beautiful white hair, and it was like, wow, look at this man. He's embracing everything about him. So yeah, I can't wait for your new projects.
All right, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Michael, for being here. You're the best. We're going to do this again when you have something else to promote, or just want to talk, because it's real talk, you know. Both New Yorkers over here, you know. Yeah. So I want to say to the audience, y'all, if you have a dream in your heart and a plan, it's never too late. Can you dig it? Right, Michael?
It's never, ever too late. Ever.
Ever.
Don't ever give up. Don't ever give up, and don't ever listen to people who are negative, because people are just the worst. So.
Oh my God, absolutely. Oh, let's put that on a t-shirt.
People are the worst. Yes.
For real. All right. Thank you so much, Michael. And you have a great rest of your weekend. Okay. And we will talk soon.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We did it. That was good.
Good.
Thank you so much. Yes, you're the best. And we'll talk soon. I think this will be up next Saturday. I always do like a
fantastic. Yeah, please let me know, and I'll share it everywhere.
Oh, okay, great. All right, you have a great weekend. Oh my God. Yay. Did it less than an hour. Bye.
Okay. Bye, sweetie.